All right, let's do this. We're going to build an AI that actually knows your business using your own data. And we're going to do it in about 15 minutes flat with Amazon Bedrock. Let's get right into it.
So here's the big problem, right? The one that drives us all crazy. You ask an AI a question about your company, and it takes a wild guess. It's so frustrating. Because let's be real, a generic AI like ChatGPT has no clue about your specific internal policies, your brand new product manuals, or your company's private knowledge base. It's just working off a general and frankly often outdated snapshot of the internet. But what if we could finally change that? And this is the fix. It's a technique called Retrieval Augmented Generation, or RAG for short. It's a super powerful method that basically forces the AI to stop guessing and start reading your actual documents to find the answers. It grounds the AI in your company's reality.
And this slide just nails the difference. A standard model is pulling from its massive generic training data. It might be right, or it might just completely make something up. That's what we call a hallucination. A RAG-powered model, it's the total opposite. First, it searches your documents, finds the right paragraphs, and only then does it generate an answer based exclusively on that content. It's grounded in your truth.
So, you're probably wondering, how does this magic trick actually work under the hood? Well, it's surprisingly straightforward. It's basically a 5-step dance. First, we ingest your documents. Then, a special model converts all that text into numbers. We call them vectors that capture the meaning. These vectors get stored in a specialized database. Now, when you ask a question, the system finds the document vectors that are the closest match to your question. And finally, it hands only those specific documents to the AI and says, here, answer the question using only this.
Now, here's the best part. That whole process sounds super complicated, right? Well, Amazon Bedrock handles all of it for you. Seriously, you just point it to your documents, no PhD required.
Okay, so if you're going to feed it documents, where do those all-important documents actually live? Well, you've got some great options.
The easiest place to start, and what we're going to use today, is a good old S3 bucket. You can just dump your PDFs, Word docs, text files, you name it, and Bedrock sorts it out. But you can also hook it up directly to things like Confluence or Salesforce. That means you use your existing knowledge base with zero migration. It's pretty incredible.
All right, let's get our hands dirty. This is the blueprint. You're about to see just how ridiculously fast it is to create a private ChatGPT for your own company. And hey, if you just had that aha moment where you realized you can actually do this, go ahead and hit that like button. This is the kind of feature that gets AI projects greenlit by management. Building this in AWS is really just a series of clicks in the Bedrock console. Let me walk you through it. First, get your documents into an S3 bucket. Simple enough. Second, in the Bedrock console, head over to Knowledge Bases. Third, give it a name and let Bedrock create a new service role for you with just one click. Fourth, you connect your data source. Just select S3 and paste in your bucket's URI. Fifth, choose your embeddings model. The default, Amazon Titan, is a great place to start. Sixth, set up the vector store. The quick create option here is your best friend. It just builds a managed OpenSearch serverless cluster for you. Seventh, you give everything a quick once-over. And finally, eighth, you hit that big sync button. That's what kicks the whole thing off.
And that's it. Seriously. After that sync finishes, which only takes a few minutes the first time, your internal documents are now fully searchable by a generative AI. How cool is that? If that just blew your mind, you're going to want to subscribe. Because in our next explainer, we're giving the AI the ability to take action, not just answer questions. You don't want to miss it.
Okay, now for the best part, the moment of truth. Let's actually ask it a question and see this thing work.
So we pop open the test window in the console and we ask something specific, like, what is the return policy for defective items? And boom, look at that, a perfect, concise answer pulled right from our policy document. But look closer, see that little 1 at the end? That's the real magic.
Those citations are everything. That's the AI showing its work. It's telling you exactly which document it used to come up with that answer. For any real business use case, this isn't just a nice to have, it's an absolute requirement. This is how you build trust, this is how you get auditability. And of course, you're going to want to use this in your actual applications. Here's the Python code to do it. It's just one API call, retrieve and generate. But now, pay attention here, this is important. You have to use the Bedrock Agent Runtime Client, not the regular Bedrock Runtime Client. It's a common trip-up, but the Agent Runtime is the one with all these cool RAG capabilities.
Okay, so getting a demo up and running is awesome, but making it work reliably in production, that requires a little secret sauce. Let's get into the pro tips.
Now, we need to talk about chunking. I know, it sounds super technical, but trust me, this is the difference between good RAG and garbage RAG. Chunking is just how Bedrock splits your big documents into smaller pieces. The default strategy is fine for like 80% of cases. But if you have really long, structured documents, exploring something like hierarchical or semantic chunking can make your answers way more accurate by keeping the right context together.
And let me save you some headaches. Here are the top mistakes people make that just kill accuracy. First, messy documents. You got to clean them up. Get rid of repeating headers and footers. Second, scanned PDFs. If they're just images of text, you have to run them through OCR first. Third, weak prompts. You need to tell the model, answer only from the text I give you. And finally, don't ignore failures. Set up alerts in CloudWatch so you know if a data sync ever breaks.
So you're probably looking at all this and thinking, okay, this managed service must cost a fortune, right? Well, you'd be surprised. For a pretty standard setup, say 1,000 documents and 10,000 queries a month, you're typically looking at around $50 to $100 a month. And to put that in perspective, compare that tiny bill to the alternative. Weeks, maybe even months of your best engineers' time trying to build, deploy, and maintain all this infrastructure themselves. The value proposition here is just the complete no-brainer.
So we have come a long way in just a few minutes, but really, we've just set the stage for what comes next.
I mean, step back and think about what we just did. In 15 minutes, you built a sophisticated AI system that can read your private data, give you accurate answers, and even show you its work by citing its sources. You built that. That's huge.
But here's the kicker. Answering questions? That's just the beginning. What if your AI could do things? What if it could actually book the meeting after answering a question, or process the refund after explaining the policy? That's the world of AI agents, and that's where we're going next. If you've stuck with me this far, you're clearly serious about this stuff, so make sure you subscribe so you don't miss what's coming. And hey, drop a comment below. I'm really curious, what documents are you going to upload first? HR policies? Product manuals? Let me know.